Hello Lucas Nation fans and K.L.P Worldwide fans. Welcome back y'all to the YouTube channel of K.L.P Entertainment. How are you guys doing here tonight? Thank you. So Lucas Nation fans, we are here in the studio of Swanky Studios. And you guys know about it. Every time I'm on Twitter and Instagram, I did a promotion for the show, and I am super stoked that we're back with doing more live shows for number one. But this is the debut episode of Alpha Live. Thank you. So a lot of you guys on Twitter and on Instagram, you guys were asking me, what the hell is Alpha Live? So yes, I've been wanting to do a show like this for a very long time. A lot of our Lucas Nation fans and K.L.P Worldwide fans are huge anime goers. Ain't that right? That's right. So you guys are awesome. You guys are really good at anime. Back then, I've done shows like the Lucas Chat Podcast, right? And the Lucas Chat Podcast, we've talked about anime for the segment of that show, and it kicked off a really good success. But now, that was back then. That's when we first started watching anime, and we first really got into it. And I've done, over the years of Lucas Chat Podcast, I've done a lot, and I do mean a lot, of anime reviews and talk about. So we came to a meeting last week, and here at K.L.P Entertainment, we like to do a little segment meetings. We like to do meetings about what's next to come for K.L.P Entertainment. I been thinking about it as CEO. We've always looking for ways for innovations. We're always looking for ways to change up our game a little bit, and ways to just kind of go against with it, and just try to help brand ourselves a little bit better, and try to find newer ways for connecting our community here at K.L.P Entertainment. So we came up with this idea, you guys, Alpha Live, and of course with that is Omega Live. That show, I can say it on this show, that show, Omega Live, we're still working on that show, so bear with us on that. That's exclusively for gaming. We just still working out the kinks of that show as we speak, so just hang on tight with that one. But Alpha Live is an exclusive show here at K.L.P Entertainment, where we're going to be talking about anime. So of course we're going to be talking about anime in regards of the movies, the anime shows, and of course on the anime movies and music as well. So all things and everything anime is dedicated for Alpha Live, and that's what the show is about for you guys. Thank you. So it all started, before we get on to the nitty and gritty, it all started back in 2012, when I first got introduced to anime with one of my friends back in private school. He introduced me to anime for the very first time, and ever since then, I've stuck with it. I've stuck with it ever since then. Since 2012, I've been watching anime. I've been following up with anime. I've been talking about anime. I've been doing reviews on anime. But now, I wanted to sort of expand on that for our anime division. We got a lot of interesting animations and a lot of good interesting stuff that comes on with the show. So I'm excited to see where this show takes us, and hopefully we reach new heights with this show. It started with the hit show by the name of Shuffle. That's right. So it started with Shuffle, y'all. Shuffle is a good anime that I still today recommend you guys watching. That was my very first anime. If you guys are familiar with it, that's my very first anime that I've got to witness and watch. And the art style and the characters and the character development, that's just really unique in that story. And that was the very first impression I had from anime, and ever since then I stuck with it because I watched that show. This was 2012, years back ago, when I first got interested into it, and then I started watching it and I started really understanding Japanese culture. And I'm all about culture here at K.L.P Entertainment. You guys know it. I'm all about culture and trying to spread our culture here for K.L.P Entertainment. So that was the very first show, and then ever since then I've been watching all these crazy shows, all these awesome shows, all these romantic comedy shows. Big shout out to Key Studios Angel Beats. Yes. Huge shout out for Angel Beats, y'all. Angel Beats was I want to say my fourth anime I've watched, and that show really made me cry at the end. It did make me tear up at the very last two episodes of this series, I really teared up because that was a really good anime to watch. It was really, really good to see animes like that that make you go out of your element, that make you want to cry. And I did cry the last two episodes I was watching. I remember it was when I first got a Netflix. After watching shorter animes on YouTube, I trans over to Netflix because Netflix had some good anime division back then, and that's when Angel Beats was on Netflix, and then that's when I started to grow and watch more of it and do a review of it, of course. So I watched Angel Beats for the whole complete series for Netflix almost every Friday when I got home from school. I wanted to watch anime. I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to watch anime, and of course, we're years later we're still watching it. I'm still watching Angel Beat reruns because that show was just so impactful, and I just can't wait to watch a lot of more animes to really get into it. Of course, with this ongoing season. So here's how it's gonna work, y'all. Before we get to the nitty gritty, I know this is the first episode, and I don't want to ramble too much on today's show, but this is the introductory. I got to get the word out, So what Alpha Live is about, we're going to give you the top 3 anime shows that we're watching now. It's going to be an ongoing series for you guys, Lucas Nation, K.L.P Worldwide fans. We're going to be just doing a review on each episode. We're going to do a review on a specific episode starting next week, on next week's show, because in this introductory of the video of the show, we wanted to just kind of give you an idea and kind of spit at you what we got going on so far, because the animes that we're watching now, we had already started their series, so I can't start from scratch. I can't start from episode 1 and just trying to relay so much back. So we're just going to give you kind of an introductory of the 3 shows we're watching, and then starting next week, we're going to be reviewing on our current episodes that we've watched here on the show for you guys live, so you guys can chime in, comment below on the comment box, or subscribe to the channel, of course. But this is kind of more of an interaction thing, not for the people here in the studio, but for the people who's watching us live on either your phone or your tablets or your iPads or your computer. You can react with us, and you can put your own comments, and you can say what you feel about that episode of that specific anime. So of course, let's get on with it. Of course, I am the host. So yes, if you guys haven't noticed it yet, of course, if you haven't seen Lucas Tech Show, or if you haven't seen K.L.P in the evening, we have some good new members here at K.L.P Entertainment that I'm so excited for them to be part of the show here today, here tonight. I want to thank those 3 individuals for signing with us with K.L.P Entertainment and really making this show very possible, and that I'm wearing this nice suit on the show. Of course, this is the kind of growth we're doing if I'm wearing a suit on this kind of show. So of course, we're going to start off with Martha Gibbons. Of course, Martha Gibbons, if you guys know, if you haven't heard her before, she's on K.L.P in the evening. She will be doing a kind of spitting analysis, kind of relating episodes of the shows for the hit show Ace Attorney. That's the first show I like to announce that we're watching right now. She will be giving you a brief description of the show and what she thinks about the show. And of course, starting next week, she's going to review a specific episode. So, you guys, I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Martha Gibbons. Martha?
Thank you, Kennedy. Hello, folks. Martha Gibbons here, and I will be doing a preview of Ace Attorney Season 2 for the premiere of Alpha Live. It's good, the animation is actually pretty decent, and it really shines with eccentric characters like Godot, Ron and Acme. Speaking of those 3, they are all amazing. Godot is the perfect blend of mystery and plain coolness. Plus the improved animation really lets him shine. Ron is a fun and quirky delight, screw you. And Acme, oh boy, they nailed him. He's just as delightful as you'd want him to be. Plus a little extra. All I'm gonna say is, prepare to orgasm wildly when you first hear him say Zveri. Now let's get into some problems. First of all, the pacing. It's certainly not as bad as it was in the last episode, but it certainly ain't good either. It starts off promisingly enough, but then kinda spirals out of control. There isn't nearly enough time spent in the Lordly Taylor basement. And then it fucking zooms through the rest. With Ron's introduction being especially butchered. which makes me think there were some parts left on the cutting room floor. There's a strangely long amount of time spent with Desiree. Though longer than I'd expect. Even weirder is when they zoom again through a scene that I think is supposed to be emotional. But it's so fast that it's not enough to make me feel anything. Also, the episode's ending really bothers me. They do a very awkward cut which any viewer will notice easily. And it makes me think they're gonna cut out a lot of essential stuff in the next trial. Again, one last positive I can say is that the humor is pretty much on point. I laughed a good few times throughout the episode and it was pretty enjoyable. Overall, decent episode. It wasn't fantastic, but it was rather fun entertainment that'll leave you in a good mood.
Alrighty, Martha, thank you for your review on the show. Of course, like I mentioned before, starting next week, we're going to be talking about a specific episode of Ace Attorney. So stay tuned for next week's show as we do it live for you guys. Martha will be giving you her own little review, her own little thing, a little play-by-play on that one. So the next show, coming up next on Alpha Live, of course, we're going to be talking about the Quintessential Quintuplets. Now, this is the show that I really like because it's a very interesting story. It's kind of a love story kind of thing that goes around with you. And of course, Quintessential Quintuplets, of course, is 5 girls that are all sisters. And you got one guy to be the tutor of all 5 of them. Of course, we're going to have our good buddy from the Lucas Tech show, Aaron Reed, will be talking about Quintessential Quintuplets. So I'm going to turn it over to now, Aaron Reed.
Thank you, Kennedy. Hello everyone. Aaron Reed here. Japanese high school student Futaro Usuji has achieved excellent grades but leads a difficult life otherwise. No mother. No friends. And a father struggling with large debts while Futaro and his younger sister Reiha often go hungry. An opportunity presents itself when the rich Nakano family arrives in his school and Futaro is hired as a highly paid tutor. But he discovers his 5 charming identical quintuplet sisters of varied personalities, have in common zero interest in study and abysmal grades. Some of the quintuplets are against having an unknown male in their apartment. But Futaro's diligent tenacity gradually convinces those girls to reduce their attempts to have him poisoned or arrested, and to advance in their studies. Moreover, through a flash-forward, it turns out that Futaro will marry one of the sisters. But during his tutoring, all of them fall in love with him. So, who will ever be his bride?
Alrighty, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for your review, of course. Like I mentioned in multiple times already on tonight's show, and you guys probably going to get tired of me saying it, we're going to be doing a specific episode starting next week, of course, for you guys to talk about that episode. Of course, all new things coming up next week, of course, here on Alpha Live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show this far. Of course, going to give it up to Martha, Aaron, and Gordon for giving us our own little review, kind of an intro for making this show possible. You guys been watching this show, and let me know what you think about it. We're going to be doing it again. Starting next week, we're going to be talking about specific episodes that we're currently on for those 3 shows. This is an ongoing series until the seasons of those shows are done. And when those seasons of the shows are done, we're going to be doing newer animes. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going for it on here at Swinky Studios and K.L.P Entertainment. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we've got a lot of good things coming up for you guys. Not only for Alpha Live, but of course with K.L.P in the evening with Martha Givens. And of course the Lucas Tech show with Aaron Reed. So of course, we're trying to brand K.L.P Entertainment for a family base. It's our culture. We're trying to do in media we trust, having a lot of people on our channel. And I'm just so thankful that I get to run it and I get to be behind the camera for once and letting my other voices, letting my other people go out there and they're kind of doing the thing on the channel. And I'm sitting back and I make sure things are tidy. So, of course, guys, stay tuned next week for Alpha Live when we do episode 2, when we really dig into those episodes and we really get to dissect those episodes from the 3 series, of course, until the series ends. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Alpha Live. I'm your host, Kennedy Lucas. Stay swanky and have a good night.